One of the most popular destinations for hikers in the White Mountains is the summit of Mount Washington. But when it comes to choosing a route, it's important to know that while they may all end up in the same place, not all hiking trails are equal. Their degrees of difficulty can vary wildly due to differences in terrain, exposure to weather, and distance from help should an accident occur. Take, for example, the postcard view of Mount Washington from the east. Two ravines, seemingly twins. Tuckerman on the left, Huntington on the right. But while both are subject to the extremes of Mount Washington, the less traveled Huntington Ravine is often more challenging than even experienced hikers are ready for.
When you go into Huntington Ravine, you're immediately struck by its presence. It's a very steep head wall. Feels like you're surrounded by cliffs, which you are. And there's a fairly audacious trail that tackles the center head wall, and it's carefully laid out to find the line of easiest ascent, which is no means easy. And if you go either direction off the trail, you'll quickly find yourself in fifth-class rock climbing. So you need to be prepared with the right mental attitude. You need to be somebody who's not afraid of heights and is willing to assume a little bit more risk than perhaps you would on other hiking trails. It's not uncommon for people to require rescue in Huntington Ravine in the summertime. Those rescues range from people who get scared and just physically stuck on the head wall and they freeze in place and feel like they need somebody to come help them, to other people who actually have serious falls because they got off the trail and slipped and took a big tumble. When people have accidents in Huntington Ravine, it's a big deal because it's really hard to get in there, and the crews who will be responding to those aren't necessarily nearby. So anybody who finds themselves in the position of needing a rescue anywhere in the White Mountains need to understand that the crews that will be responding are very professional and know what they're doing, but it's going to take them a while to get there. So being prepared to self-evacuate is always a good thing to do.
Hiking on Mount Washington can be a unique and rewarding experience, but only when sufficiently prepared with proper clothing, food, water, emergency gear and supplies, knowledge, and perhaps most important, the willingness to turn back when conditions deteriorate or terrain is above your ability.
People looking to hike the Huntington Ravine Trail need to recognize that the window for that opportunity doesn't start until very late in the spring, and it ends in the very early fall. Winter comes early to Mount Washington, and ice can form on the head wall very early in October typically, which will totally change that experience, and mountaineering and ice climbing skills would be needed to get through that trail. On the other end of the season, going up in the spring, hikers will be met with significant snowpack and falling ice potential. So really the best time to try to hike Huntington Ravine is a very nice summer day, usually late June to mid-September.
For more information on this and other cool places in the White Mountains, visit whitemountains.tv.